Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are tonight's entertainment.
Broadcasting live from Strong Island Studios in Massapequa, New York.
You're listening to Man Up
with Eric Holzman and Matt Wieman.
Who says you can't go home again? Hello, everybody. I'm Eric Holzman.
And I'm Matt Wieman.
Welcome to Man Up. This is a weekly show here on Strong Island Radio. We'll be broadcasting every Tuesday night from 7 to 8 p.m. If you want to interact and call with us, give us a ring at 516-945-9099. So I hope some of you might be wondering where I've been or what I've been up to. I went to broadcasting school, and it happened to be the same school that Matt went to.
Connecticut School of Broadcasting.
Yes, well, shout out to CSB.
Shout out.
So in August, Matt posted on the CSB Facebook page that he was looking to get in to do a show with somebody, either a podcast or some kind of show. I saw it up there. I had never met him before. We didn't know each other at all. And I told him, yeah, I'm interested. Let's do this. So we spoke a few times. We finally met. The chemistry was pretty good between us. So he came out here and said, let's finally give it a shot.
That's why we're here.
That is why we're here.
We got here, and now, we're two hopeless Jets fans, so we clicked right off the start. I mean, share in misery. And the show, basically, the format of the show, it's going to be sports-based, but it's also going to be focused on pop culture. Actually, Eric had brought that to the table, and I love comics, I love movies, I love music, so it's going to cover a wide range of things. Of course, we'll do our weekly daily fantasy picks as well as part of the show, and as we progress here, we'll take also suggestions from the audience, so please, go onto Strong Island Radio and TV on Facebook, like our video, share our page, Man Up, and we appreciate any support you give us.
Nah, definitely, guys. If you're watching this, please share it. We want to get this out to as many people as possible. I love to edutain. If you guys watched my Facebook post the other day, I said we're gonna edutain people. So hopefully you guys come watch, have a good time. I have a question for you, Matt.
Yep.
What did you think when we first spoke? What was your first reaction?
Well, first of all, I think you thought I was a little more professional than, not to say I'm unprofessional, but I think you thought I was a little more uptight than when I met you in person. Am I correct by saying that?
Yeah, you came across a little proper, which is fine. I have no problem with that. I just,
Fair enough. So for everyone that knows me, they're probably laughing right now because they're like, yeah, he's proper, but he's also going to say, anything pretty much at any time. So when I first met you, first of all, I didn't realize how tall you were. I thought you were short, to be honest. I told you this.
Yeah, you did.
You did. And I did rib on him for taking a selfie, but I've done my own, so can't really hate too much.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Well, our initial, the first time we spoke on the phone, I didn't know. I wasn't really sure what you were trying to go for. What you trying to find out from me? You were pretty, like I said, you were very straight-laced.
Yep.
So I was at first I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, because I'm like, I need someone to be, relaxed and chill, and go back and forth. We can bounce off each other. And then when I met you in person, it was completely different.
I'm a man of many faces. What can I say?
So it was cool though. It was cool, and that's when that night when I was driving home, I'm like, you know what? I said this definitely. I think it's definitely going to work.
For sure.
Yeah.
So you know what? I mean, we're going to do a mix of things. That's just basically to round it up, and we're just going to hop right into it.
Go ahead.
Again, we're very sports focused, but this weekend, for anyone who loves comics, it was Comic-Con.
It was New York. Yeah, it was the New York Comic-Con, and a couple of one trailer was released that most of everyone was waiting for. I know I was waiting for it, which was the Justice League trailer, and I personally loved it. I did. I know many people didn't like it. But I personally loved it, and there's been problems with the DC movies already. Everyone knows Suicide Squad and Batman vs Superman did not do well critically. It did pretty well actually, though, financially.
Did you like Batman vs Superman?
I liked parts of it. I didn't like all of it. I enjoyed Suicide Squad more than most. I will say that. The end of it I didn't like, but the first 2/3 of the movie I thought were pretty solid.
Don't you think it was rushed? That's what I kind of feel like they try to put so much into the movie.
Yes.
Not just Suicide Squad, but Batman vs Superman.
No, Batman vs Superman clearly was a jumbled mess. That's what when everyone asked me what I thought about that, and I did a show on this actually here a little over a year ago. Yeah, about this about that movie and a couple of other ones. So yeah, so that movie didn't, like I said, they didn't do well. Wonder Woman was great. Wonder Woman was incredible.
I liked Wonder Woman a lot, and you know what? To be honest, this is the problem I think DC has or had before Wonder Woman, right?
Right.
Is they try to make a movie for people that like comics, but they didn't actually do a good job of doing that either. So they were trying to capture their audience that they thought would really resonate with, but they were actually pissed off. And then people like my girlfriend fell asleep in the movies. So, yeah, I think Marvel did it great because,
they did it right. Like they released all the solo films first into this into the Avengers, right? Before the Avengers came out. And we got when Justice League come out, and to me this is the biggest problem of that film. We have no idea who Aquaman is, we have no idea who the Flash is, and we have no idea who Cyborg is. Now, if you're a nerd like me and you know a little about these characters, then yes, I know a little about them more than the average person would know. But the problem is that you're not generating any interest for those characters. So the people who are going to go see this movie are Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman fans. And it's a good thing.
Do you really think that, though?
I think comic book fans are going to see it regardless. Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, the mainstream audience.
Yeah.
No one... I mean, unless some people watch the Flash TV show, which is on Channel 11.
I do.
Right?
I have to admit, I do.
Well, no, I watch it, too.
Every episode I've watched.
Right. So, but it's a completely different take on the character. So people might go into saying, oh, yeah, I like the TV show, I'll go watch. But you're not going to get
that
it's
not
version.
The same thing.
So that's the problem with how DC went about it and how they got to this point. As for Justice League itself, though, there's been production problems from the beginning. Zack Snyder, I don't know if you know, his daughter committed suicide. So,
no, I had no idea.
Yeah,
no.
So he left as director, and Joss Whedon came in, the guy who did the Avengers. He came in and took over. It kind of seems though like that they used that as an excuse to get rid of Snyder, in my opinion.
I agree. But they also condensed it, which is the other big thing. Is now it's not two films; it's going to be the one. And we saw the trailer. Right. What did you think of the trailer overall?
I had good moments. I enjoyed it because I've been waiting to see this movie since I'm a little kid. So this is something I've been waiting to see. Right. So I want to see these guys team up on screen. The trailer itself was very red. If you look at the original trailers, the sky in it is dark, and then this one comes out and it's red. Like they're doing the Crisis sky, which is a red sky.
Since you guys can't see the walls red.
Yeah, that's why I pointed. I'm sorry. Yeah, good look.
It's all good.
The walls are all red. Well, in front of us are red. So that was one of the things I noticed. I really like Ezra Miller's Flash. I think he's going to steal the movie.
Like him too.
I think he's going to be one of the, like I said, the steal the movie and be one of the breakout stars. I like Momoa's Aquaman. The surfer stuff is a little much for me, but it's him. It kind of fits him. So.
But here's the thing. So you liked it.
I did like it. Yes.
I inherently don't like this Justice League. And
okay.
I think I can tell you why. All right. First of all, if anyone has watched the Justice League when you're little, I'm 33. I watched it since I was a little kid, and everyone knows that there's two members that are not there, and Cyborg wasn't part of the originals. Now I know why they're doing it. It's because it's 2017, it's more sellable to have a cyborg rather than a Martian, which is an absurd conversation to have in its own.
Right.
But that's kind of why I don't like it. Now, but there was some alluding at, I'm hearing that there's potentially some Green Lanterns or one Green Lantern in the movie.
I heard there might be references to Green Lanterns. I don't know if there's one in the movie. I know when the other trailer came out, people said like a shadow and it was green, and they thought it was Green Lantern. I don't think that's the case at all. It'd be cool if it was the original Justice League members. I just, like I told you, we spoke about this before. I don't know how Martian Manhunter would work on screen in 2017.
I think it would be cool as hell, to be honest. I really do. I don't know.
If this movie does well and they decide to do a second one, maybe they bring him in then.
Maybe they do like its own movie. Maybe he was already around during all this, and he's actually some character we're seeing.
Right. I mean, we already have an older Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman
That's
is an older Batman. So we have that Batman in this universe, which most Batmans are of, normal. I don't want to say normal age. I'm 40. I feel old to say that. but most of the Batmans we've had on screen are, late 20s or 30s.
33,
right?
maybe?
30 range, right?
I'd probably be Batman.
So yeah, well,
Yeah,
Affleck
maybe
might not
not.
be coming back, Matt. So you
No,
might
no.
have a job.
Oh,
go
you think I have a
audition.
shot?
Go audition. Hey, why not?
All right, so that was one trailer, but now I know it didn't debut necessarily at Comic-Con.
But hold on. Hold
you wanna-
on. What else didn't you like about the trailer?
All right, the last part I didn't. Well, it's not necessarily the last part, but the bad guy. I don't like that.
Steppenwolf?
It's Steppenwolf. I mean, listen. When it was two movies, I got it because it was like, all right, it's Steppenwolf, and then Darkseid's coming in, and then the second movie will be like kind of like the Avengers.
Right.
It's leading up
Right.
to Thanos, but maybe they changed it because it was too similar, and they didn't want to do that.
No, they changed it because they want to completely. After Justice League comes out, they're completely changing the way their movies are going to be. They're going to be director driven completely and not have not be interconnected into a universe.
Really?
They're not going to be interconnected movies.
Okay.
Like they're each going to have their own movie, and then maybe if they decide to do a second Justice League, they can all come back together and talk about what they were doing in their solo movies.
And then they kind of
and then go their own way again. Kind of like in the Marvel movies where, like in the first Avengers, you have them fighting in New York, and where's Spider-Man? There's no Spider-Man at all. So it's kind of like that,
Okay, that makes sense.
But I think that was the problem with this whole, like they call it phase 1 of the DC universe, the movie universe. The whole problem with it was they rushed it. It was completely rushed. We didn't get solo films. We got Batman. We got Man of Steel, which I liked.
Yep.
We got Batman vs Superman, which I was mixed. Suicide Squad, which I don't even know how. I mean, the only reason it fits into the universe is because of Batman and Flash. I mean, Flash has a cameo in Suicide Squad as well, and Wonder Woman, which was fantastic. So,
Listen, they've been trending up.
Oh
You
yeah,
could
no,
say that,
exactly.
so-
Yes, you're right. Their last effort was tremendous. So they have been trending up.
And listen,
Yeah.
like probably most comic book fans, even though I did not like particularly the, Batman vs Superman and stuff that in this trailer, I'm still gonna see it.
Right.
I'm buying a ticket.
Right. That's the thing. The people who like these characters are gonna go to see the movie.
Yeah.
It's the people, but they're gonna get our money regardless. It's the people who they need to draw in. So word of mouth from people like us when we go see it the opening week, that's gonna get other people to come see the movie. If that doesn't go well, then this movie is gonna bomb. And Thor comes out, I think, a week before it or 2 weeks before it.
Yep.
And then Star Wars comes out a month after it. So it doesn't have a lot of time to be, a lot of time to make money when you have this other tentpole coming out, this other tentpole movie coming out.
No, I get it. To be honest, it's funny you say Star Wars.
Yes.
Because listen, I think it's an understatement to say people have been anxiously waiting for this. It's a super understatement.
Yes.
There's people that are literally, I know you bought tickets already.
Yeah, I did. I did. I bought last night after I was mad because they first said tickets were going to go on sale after the trailer, but apparently they went on sale during the day. So I missed a lot of time there, and I wound up getting tickets for an 11 o'clock show. I wanted to go at 7. I wanted to go to the first show, but because
I think you'll be all right. Just don't.
No,
lose
I'll
your
be
phone.
fine. I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna pay attention to any.
Go read a
other
book
stuff.
in the park. Something
Yeah,
nice.
I'll just keep my eye. I'll keep my eyes on something else before I told all my friends who were seeing it early. I'm like, don't tell me anything. You can tell me if you liked it. That's all I want to know. I don't want to know anything else.
Don't you
Because
have a PSA kind of on that, like a public service announcement about Google actually Didn't you say there's like
No, there's like an ad blocker on my Google Chrome browser that they had before The Force Awakens came out, and I put it on my browser that anytime any kind of Star Wars information is on the page I'm going to, it alerts me and tells me that it might be spoilers.
That's it. But listen,
So-
I'm sure people who watch Star Wars.
If only I could do that to people in their mouths.
Maybe me sometimes.
Right,
Yeah, maybe.
people might have, you know.
But yeah, what did you think about the trailer? I mean, what are some of your takeaways from it?
Wow. I mean, you're friends with me on Facebook, and the first thing I posted was, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It was the first thing I posted after I saw it. And then as I got time to watch it 5 or 6 more times, I got time to process what it was. And I'll tell you this, it's completely different than any other Star Wars movie that they've made. It's Rian Johnson took a lot of chances. I know there's going to be people. I haven't seen the movie, but just from what I heard, I know there's going to be people upset with how he treats the Luke character. The trailer kind of it's either misdirection or maybe that is what it's going to be. But they throw like you get the idea that maybe Kylo Ren and Rey become friends, or
Yeah, is this like shades of Vader? Kind
know,
of like like how he.
right. You have shades. You have that.
You think they're sandbagging us though?
I definitely do. To put that kind of stuff in a trailer, and if we go to the movie and that's what we see, people are going to be pissed. They're like, we saw this already. Like, we don't want, you definitely want to know how they got there. But we also got to see Snoke in an actual character form, not a hologram, which was actually pretty cool. He looked creepy as
But
hell.
you really don't know. You even from that like quick image, really, you don't know how big he is. Like you
No,
still
you don't.
know.
But it kind of
Is he
you
leaning
could kind of
down,
see him
like-
in a distance though when he's doing whatever he's doing to Rey when she's like laying.
Oh yeah.
You see him in a distance. He looks short, like not Yoda short, but kind of short.
Well, I mean, you could imagine with the Force, like it takes a toll on your body, right? The dark side.
Yeah, like we don't know his
So-
origin, so I have no idea how long he's been alive. We have no idea, and the dark side apparently is a little more rough and vicious.
Honestly, I told
That's
you.
your side,
I
yes.
told you. I said if
Yes,
I'm in a Star Wars game, I'm not gonna lie. I'm picking the bad, the Sith guy or the Dark Jedi. I mean,
Hey, I mean, the coolest character is Darth Vader. Everyone loves Darth Vader.
for sure.
And from the prequels, my favorite character was Darth Maul, the one with the double. You know.
you don't have to tell me. I
So
love that.
So that's what I mean. So like of course I love Luke Skywalker as a kid. That's who I wanted to be growing up. But the cooler characters have always been the Sith.
Oh, for sure.
Sith characters,
I even like
always.
General Grievous, even though he's weird with his long. I mean, people are whatever. They don't like him, and obviously no one wants to even say the name
There's
Jar Jar.
a book. I mean, I read. Well, yeah, we don't need to discuss
Sith
it.
Lord Jar
I'm
Jar
not-
Binks.
I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about that.
No, we're
movie.
going off
The
on a
ol-
15-minute tangent.
The
on Jar
only,
Jar.
the only I like. I like the prequels. A lot of people hate them. I don't. I like them. I don't love them. I admit they have problems. The first one, it's hard for me to watch, except for the Darth Maul stuff, and of course, Qui-Gon Jinn.
Of course.
Liam Neeson was tremendous.
It's Liam. Yeah,
Right.
it's Liam. All right.
And Attack of the Clones, I liked, except for the romance between Anakin and Padme, which was really awkward, and I hated that stuff. And Sith, I liked a lot. The last one I liked, when he becomes Darth Vader, that movie I liked a lot.
I like the ending. It was messed up, but I like it. I think
Yeah,
there was a
I
lot
mean,
more.
There's parts of it that I thought could have been better. I don't want to go down this road.
We don't have to.
But
So basically, the things I took away from the trailer.
yeah, go ahead.
Well, I talked to you about this, and Finn has a lightsaber. He's fighting with a lightsaber.
It's not though. It's one of those things. Those stormtrooper baton
I don't know.
things.
I don't know. I'm not going to waste time right now looking, but I will after this. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, he's got some kind of force abilities, because the first movie of this series, the first movie when Kylo Ren in the first or second scene when they torch all the people in that village, and he's walking onto the ship, he looks to the right, and then before Rey does anything in that movie, Snoke and him say they felt an awakening, and then he goes and next scene pans to him. I'm telling you.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Listen,
I don't
you
know.
think I'm passionate about this? I'm passionate about it.
No, it's possible. It's very possible. It's very. I mean, it's very possible. I did, like I said, this is the first movie of any, like most trailers I see, I get a kind of idea. I have no idea where they're going with this. I've seen 2 trailers now for The Force Awakens. Like I know, like I said, I know he trains Rey. I know she's extremely powerful. There's some kind of thing going on there with her, some kind of force thing. And Kylo, obviously, he's connected somehow. We saw the thing that does he shoot Leia's ship down and kill her? We don't know.
That's what made me think also.
We don't know that. I think that was another misdirection. I don't think. He killed Han Solo. He's gonna kill. I'm sorry if no one saw The Force Awakens.
Spoiler!
I just spoiled that.
Spoiler alert!
But yeah, he does kill him.
But did he?
Right. That's true. In these fantasy movies.
Did he get reincarnated into that thing next to Chewie on the ship?
Yes.
Maybe that's him.
Maybe yes. Maybe he's the pork, the cute little porg thing.
Those are new things. It does a Wookiee call.
It looks like a Furby kind of. The pork kind of looks like a Furby.
Kind of like an intimidating
with a penguin. You kind of feel with the wings. I don't know. I all I know is I can't wait for December to come here, and not for Christmas. I want to see.
Well, you got
movie.
those ice wolves are.
Yeah, I don't know what. Like I said before, I told you.
I think it's a Pokemon evolution.
To me, it could be.
I said it. Nerd alert. Right
and
here.
it looks like or one of the characters from Narnia, Chronicles of Narnia.
You're right.
One of those crazy wolves from there. I don't know.
I don't know. But listen, bottom line, you're excited about it.
Oh hell yeah!
I think everyone is.
I was excited. Star Wars could put out a blank screen for 2 hours, and I'd be excited for it. That is the one. Star Wars is the one thing that I will just stop and.
Does it worry you at all that George Lucas is not part of?
Not at all.
Really? You don't think there was something that is going to be happening in this movie that was so appalling to him that he was like, "There's no way I'm signing off on that."
Well, no, I don't think. I mean, he doesn't have. I'm sure they talk to him about what they want to do. They'd be crazy not to. But they sold it to Disney, and Kathleen Kennedy's the one in charge, and she makes all the decisions. And like with the Han Solo movie, they fired the original directors, and they brought in Ron Howard to finish up the Han Solo movie. So you have, she made that decision. George Lucas didn't have any input on that.
I'm surprised Disney doesn't own DC too, because they own Marvel, they own Star Wars. They literally own.
Warner Brothers owns DC. Warner Brothers. So there you go.
Eventually, Disney will own everything, including this show. No.
Including us. They will own. Hey, if they own this show, I'll be extremely happy. I'm not gonna lie.
You know what? I mean,
that means we're getting some money. That means we're gonna be getting a little money.
So before we get off Comic-Con, I'm just curious. Have you ever cosplayed?
I never have. I honestly never have. I've never. I mean, Halloween, of course. I've dressed up as characters from Star Wars. I was Darth Maul once.
Really?
As a little kid, I was Darth Vader. I had one of those old plastic costumes with the plastic face mask. I was Luke Skywalker one year. I mean, I've been characters. I've just never gone to a movie and gotten dressed up.
Yeah.
I've never done that. That's not something I get into.
StrongIsland.com. Oh, sorry. I was going to plug Strong Island, like Vanna White over here.
There we go.
Tune in and share us. Have I ever cosplayed? Nope, but I did dress up like a mean Ron Burgundy for 2 or 3 Halloweens in a row, and I actually went to karaoke and sang Afternoon Delight with a few of my buddies.
That's awesome.
So, never cosplayed, but I'm totally into it, and I'm not against it. I just never really, to be honest, I never know when Comic-Con is until I see the trailers. I really don't, because San Diego is the one that's huge.
Right. Well, that's the one that's the one I've never been to any of them, but that's the one I want to go to. Just before I die, I would like to go to Comic-Con.
I would.
I don't plan on dying anytime soon, so hopefully I have time. But you never know.
Well, I hope so. I hope not, because I'm gonna have to do this alone, and I can talk, but I might bore some people.
You know what to bounce things off of?
So we're gonna switch gears here a little, because this is primarily a sports show.
Yeah. Yes, that's our.
But honestly, as viewers, if you want us to talk about anything that's within our range to talk about, which is pretty much a lot here because it's on the internet.
Yes, that's true.
Let us know. We're open to do anything. But we're going to switch gears. Yankees. Pinstripes.
Yes.
Big game.
Yes, sir. Yeah. From coming down from 0-2, battling back. That 1-0 game, of course, everyone was on the edge of their seat. I was. I like baseball's not my favorite sport. I do like baseball. My dad loved it, so it's a thing that the Yankee baseball is something me and him did a lot.
Okay.
So that was something that I still watch to have that connection there. But that game it reminded me of the game in 2001 where against the Athletics where they were down 0-2. Andy Pettitte was pitching the flip play with Jeter. You had the Aaron Judge catch at the wall. I was watching the game and I'm like, wow, this is pretty similar to that one. And then I'm thinking, I'm like, well, they did it then. Maybe this team has some magic, and then they came back.
It's electric. The energy. It does. I'd even say the game reference is perfect. I mean, I can't deny that. I'd even say it's almost shades of the '96 team because in '95,
the World Series.
Yeah, the World Series team because in '95. It was last year. Mattingly, big transition. Jeter got called up, but he really didn't make his mark until '96.
The next year, yeah.
And I got a lot of warm feelings about this team, and the fact that they're at 2-2 right now, and this is an elimination game. I'm pretty confident. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous is CC going against Kluber. I know we touched him up last time, but and I know CC's the vet, but I think.
Who would you have thrown?
Severino I don't know if I would really.
Severino pitched game 4.
I know, and Tanaka pitched already as well. I don't know that I would have thrown someone different in this case, but I don't think you leave him out there more than a few innings because you have such a big bullpen. I think you could go 2 innings with a few guys.
Well, it's all hands on deck outside of Severino, right? Everyone is gonna, if they need them, they're gonna pitch.
That's it.
So you have everyone available to you. Like I told you before, I like the CC pick just because he's won before. He's a veteran. He's probably a Hall of Famer. I don't know. I think he might be a Hall of Famer. The parameters keep changing, so I don't know anymore because of the innings that these guys pitch, and it's going to be a while. I think he might
corrupt, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm frustrated with that.
I know. But I just think of the pitchers that they have available to them, he's the one I would go to. I would have gone with him, too. If I was Girardi, I would have gone with him. And he pitched well in the other game. They should have won that game. The series should be over. They should have won game 2.
Well, Girardi.
Yeah. Well,
do you have confidence in him making the right call? I mean, listen, I like him.
I like him too.
There's a lot of people out here that don't like him at all.
I know.
If you don't like him, comment.
Yeah.
So we know. But to be honest, I have confidence he's going to make the right move, and I think people were just waiting till he made a mistake to jump on him again. Also, the thing is, he got us here, and this team was not supposed to be where we are right now.
That's very
true.
So
you got to have confidence in his ability to manage.
The young guys are ahead of schedule. No one expected this from Judge. I mean, Sanchez from last year, everyone thought, okay, he'll take the next step. And he's been great. But Bird too. Like Bird was injured, and now he's coming in and he's playing well. And you have solid. Didi's been great, and Castro's good. Like they have a good team. And their bullpen outside of it's weird now that Betances is the one who is shaky and unreliable when for the longest time he was the one that was reliable. And
that's baseball, though.
I know, it's true.
It really is. Think about
like John Sterling. Don't say that again.
Yeah, that's baseball. But even think about Todd Frazier. Yeah. I mean, he 2-3 years ago, I think, maybe 3 years ago at this point, he was MVP, I think, or MVP candidate.
Yeah.
And now look what he is. I mean, he came back to earth. It's just the way baseball is. It's kind of cool. I mean, it makes it interesting. I'm similar to you. I grew up watching baseball because of my dad. He's a Mets fan. So I went the opposite direction.
You made a wise choice.
But up until about a few years ago, I went to more Mets games than Yankee games. And actually, if we're going to be honest, I like their stadium a lot better right now anyway.
So do I.
That's besides the point. So
different topic.
Yeah. I like where we're headed. I think if we get past this, we have a really good shot at getting to the World Series because our confidence is going to be at an all-time high. And I do think our staff is – I think we have the best pitching staff in the league. I know a lot of people are going to debate that. I'm not talking about just starters. I'm talking about end.
Well, no, if you include the bullpen, then probably, yes. The starters, I mean, Tanaka was great the other night, but he's been shaky all year, giving up a lot of home runs, right?
Very true.
CC has had a great year, but he's older, and who knows? The next pitch might be his last. Like, I literally think that. Like, sometimes I'm like, he might do something and tweak his knee, and that's it.
It's funny you say that because this actually might be his last game.
Right, I heard that. I heard that he's thinking of retiring.
I don't know if he will, but, I mean, to go from making $24 million a year on average for 8 years to going and making 8, I mean, most of us...
I'll take it. I'm not gonna lie. I'll take it.
Most of us would take it.
I'll take it.
But for him, maybe it's a pride thing. And also, is he a fifth starter, next year?
Well, coming off this year, yeah, middle 3 or 4 starter, you would think. He could probably say, well, look at I did this, and his agent could probably push for a little more and get him that kind of money. The age thing, of course, is a big deal, and of course his injuries, his size, it never,
I like that he's a big guy. I think I said it.
Oh, big guys.
I like that he's a big guy. All right. He first of all, he represents for the big guys.
Exactly. Yeah.
But he's not was it John Wells? Was it no David Wells. There you go.
Wells.
Sorry, my mind went out. He's not David Wells, but he changed his game over the years.
He learned how to pitch.
He didn't rely just on his pure power, which he did. He did have a spat there with alcohol. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I will always look back on CC as a great Yankee.
Me too.
Even if he loses this game.
I mean, he was on a World Series winning team.
That's it.
That's it. That right there, you get put into a certain, even for the Yankees who have a lot of them, you get put into a certain rarefied air with that organization. And I think he's, like I said, I don't know if he is, but consideration, I would consider him because I remember when he was in Minnesota before he came to the Yankees, what he did that playoff series when
that was crazy.
I mean, like pitched 2 days, right?
I thought it was it wasn't Minnesota. It was the Brewers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He pitched 2 days out of like 4 or something crazy like that.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was great. Like it wasn't like he was tired. He was great.
He's got the stuff, so that's what I'm confident in. I just don't know. I mean, you didn't really have any options really where we're at, but like I said, I have super confidence in the bullpen behind.
And then
Kluber, he's
so good that you can't bank on him having a game like he had.
I know. That's what worries me.
So he's probably going to win the Cy Young.
How many runs do you think we need to win?
I don't know. That's a good question. I would say, well, it depends. If CC's pitch is on, then they need like 3 or 4.
Okay.
I think they need 3 or 4 to win. Obviously, if he's off, they need 9 or 10 to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. Game 5s or elimination games are always great in any sport, but in baseball, the tension, every pitch, it's always heightened. So
it's way different.
Yeah, it is way different.
It actually brings baseball from no offense to anyone who's a huge baseball fan, a little boring sport from time to time, unless you're there having a few drinks.
Right.
To one of the most exciting sports, like you said. Now, as far as Girardi goes, I mean, this ironically could be his last game.
It could be
as a Yankee.
It could be, and you know what? Even if they want him and I was him, I would seriously consider walking myself. I mean, I think he's been great. Yeah, he's very to the book, and he does, the stats stuff, and he's very does that, and he doesn't always manage with his gut. He rarely ever does, but he's been successful here. They've had one losing season too?
He constantly overperforms with a roster that's he's had some really good teams. They won the World Series.
Right. Come on. No, they've always had talent. So,
but the amount of I think he's only missed the playoffs 1 season or maybe 2 in his whole tenure, and I think that you make a good point in terms of him evaluating if he wants to come back because a little bit of information here. His son's actually a high level prospect.
Yes, in
the minors.
Yes.
So, or I'm sorry, in high school.
Right.
So, I heard someone talking about the fact that he might want to
help
stay
him
home
with his career.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can't blame him. But I think for this game, he's the manager you want. He knows. I mean, this goes without saying. He knows everyone and their strengths and their weaknesses. He's gonna make a tough or not gonna make a call like the challenge the other night sometimes. Right. But then there's other things that don't get recognized that he does. And
well, the thing I like, he's a catcher.
Yeah.
So he knows pitchers. Like he's good with the pitching staff. So like when in game 1 when he knew Severino didn't have it, he's like, that's it. He's out. Now they didn't win the game, but still he knew he didn't have it enough to just say right away. He only pitched a third of an inning. Yeah. He was like, that's it, I'm done.
Luckily, Santana was the same way.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but still, like things like that. He as a former catcher, I think he has an insight just that that managers who don't have that. So he taps into that with the pitching staff, and I mean he's a little boring, I would say, but he's not Joe Madden. Joe Madden is great.
I like him. I do.
But
we're not going to have him in the Yankee.
No, he would never be able to manage here. The way the Yankees like to do things, I don't think Joe Madden would fit.
It's not the 80s and the 90s.
No.
With the boss running.
No.
It's not.
No, it's not. Hal's very different.
But
Al and Hank are very different.
Listen, with the success we've had and the way that this team was rebuilt over the last 5 years is
They're
I
ahead of
cannot
schedule.
complain. I mean,
Yeah,
how
they're ahead
can
of
you?
schedule. They're ahead of schedule. No one expected this. They're ahead of schedule. I didn't. I mean, I don't know if anyone else did. There's probably diehard Yankee fans that say, "Yeah, I knew this was gonna."
Well,
happen.
I didn't listen, and I'm not gonna.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Go ahead. Tell us how you saw this coming.
I didn't see this coming. all
Okay.
right? But I did see the potential in their youth. And the only way to validate that is
Right.
because I do have them on my fantasy keeper.
That's true.
Team.
We're not going into it
We're not going to go into it, but
because
I
it's
have
confusing.
every single one besides Greg Bird. And
It's
it's not just
confusing.
me, it's my partner too. I got to
He explained it to me. It's very confusing, and it's you. At the end, you're like, "Yeah, okay, whatever. That's fine. I don't want to talk about it anymore." And that's that.
So, you know what? Bottom line, I think they're going to win. I do. I have a confidence. I think they have a little bit of swag now.
I hate that word, but yes, I do.
Swag, swag, swag.
I do agree with you. I think they're going to win too. I do. The momentum is trending their way. Again, Kluber's tough, very tough.
Cleveland's
but
used to blowing leads. Sorry, they blew it last year to the Cubs. So,
I know. I mean, I have a good friend whose family is from Cleveland, and they're from Cleveland. They live in Florida now, and they.
Is he watching right now?
They're kind of. He might be. I don't. He knows it's here. He knows we're on, so maybe. But I kind of hope that if they do beat the Yankees, I hope they win it. I hope they win it all. I hope they go on and win the whole thing.
Well, I think that this is a week that New York just beats Cleveland. I mean, those Jets, they came
Oh,
out. and
here we
they-
go.
Hey, look at that segue.
There we go. Segue alert.
Now, I had a hard time deciphering what the Loser Bowl was because a lot of people on Facebook were saying, I'm here to watch the Loser Bowl, right? Now, I saw Jets fans posting it, but I also saw Giants fans posting it because, hey, it's 0-4 versus 0-5 versus 0-5.
No,
Right?
it was 0-4.
0-4 versus 0-4.
Yes.
So I kind of didn't know which game was the Loser Bowl because apparently everyone in New York besides Bills fans thinks their team's the worst team.
It's poking the bear over here.
That's it. I don't
Poking the
care.
bear.
I mean, I'm going to say it. Listen, obviously, we're long-suffering Jets fans.
That's true.
And every one of you guys out there right now that is rooting for us to lose should be ashamed of yourself, including this gentleman right here, because we should always be wanting to win. Of course, if we lost out, I would be happy, all right, if we tanked.
Hold on. Quick caveat here.
I'm caveating. Or you can caveat. Go.
I
sorry.
will never. I never root against them. I would never sit there and root for them to lose. I've never done that. But this year, if they lose, I'm not that upset about it.
Fair enough.
That's how I justify it to people.
I think we're past that point, though, now.
Yeah, I don't know. Like at this point, I mean, they have a winning record. You have a winning record after 5 games. Anything could happen. I mean, they've played some easy teams so far, so they really could be 4-1, which would be scary if they had won the first game. That would be really scary. But yeah, I mean,
When they blew the Dolphins out, I was there, first of all, and it was hot as hell. But the stadium was electric, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is kind of what it was like when we had Sanchez. Well, God, I shouldn't have said that name, but
Yeah, really.
when we had that guy, number 6.
gonna stab you
the
right
first
now.
2 years, the stadium was rocking, and that was actually the first 2 years I got tickets.
Okay.
And I felt a similar vibe. So listen, I'm not saying the Jets are going to the playoffs this year. I'm just not. But I think a lot of people will back me up when I said they were going to be 5-11 or 6-10, and I honestly think
you did say that.
I honestly think they have some young talent. But what I will say is there's different young talent that's shining that I thought Robbie Anderson was going to blow up this year. He really hasn't. He's still a good deep threat, but it also might be attributed to the fact that we don't have a quarterback that can throw it that deep, right?
Although he's hit him on 2 deep passes this year.
He has. He definitely has.
One of them was for a touchdown, and the other one was just a 40-yard. It was the first game. I remember he hit him for like 40 or
I
something
loved
like
it.
that.
I mean, I actually had him on my DraftKings that time, even
Oh,
though I lost miserably that week. But anyway, yeah, so there's a few people out there, especially the safeties. I mean, Jamal Adams and Marcus May are
They
just-
really have impressed me. Like I knew that Adams was that kind of player because I had watched him in college, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna be a good pro wherever he goes. I didn't see a lot of May. My nephew actually is a Florida fan, and he knew him. I didn't know him, but yeah, they've been super impressive. Like I'm really, really shocked at how mature they play at this early in their careers. So I'm just those 2 picks so far, McCagnon, good job because I love them both.
well, if you're throwing something at a wall like wet paper towels, it's going to stick eventually. You know what I mean? So I can't really give him too many props. I mean, he's hit big on the Adams. It was a top 5 pick. I think he's the best player that came out of the draft. I mean,
Deshaun Watson. I'm sorry.
But
Deshaun
Watson, listen, Deshaun Watson's great, and I'm not taking anything away from him, but let's just calm down on him because here's the thing. He has the perfect situation for a rookie. An excellent defense, transcendent defense, even though they just lost Merciless and J.J. Watt.
Which we will discuss in a moment.
But he also has a receiver that's lightning quick, even though I know he just came back, Fuller. And then Hopkins is a great receiver. Not to mention they have
Hopkins is incredible.
2 good running backs. Foreman's going to be good, the rookie.
Miller's good.
And Miller's good. He stepped into a great situation. People that say, oh, the Jets should have taken him, he would not be, no offense, but he would not be doing this on the Jets.
Well, no, I mean, I think the Jets' offensive line has been okay, but it's not great. I mean, McCown is smart enough. That's the one thing I'll give him. He gets rid of the ball quick because he knows that he doesn't have that much time to throw. so he's been getting rid of the ball pretty fast. But that sack from what's it called?
Myles Garrett.
Oh my God!
I thought that he was going to have 14 sacks when that happened. I was like, oh my God.
I'm like, his first snap, he gets a sack.
I was at the
Unbelievable.
bar at Instant Replay in Huntington.
Right.
Whatever.
Plug. Yeah.
There you go. Free drink. So I was out there, and I actually was sitting next to this guy, random guy. His name is Matt, too. Mm-hmm. And I was like, listen, I said, Myles Garrett's playing. I guarantee he has, 3 sacks this game. He's like, no way. He won't even do anything. First play, boom, done. I was like, all right, dude, see? But I thought it was going to be that kind of day, and then it kind of turned around. It was the loser bowl the first half. It was
God,
it was kind of
rough.
like the game last night, not to get into it really, the Vikings
that game sparked up in the fourth quarter.
Similar, very similar.
Yeah, it was.
And it wasn't that entertaining, but listen, we got the W, and honestly, this week, for those of you who haven't heard, Brady sat out of practice with a sore left shoulder today. I think it's all
That's
shade.
Belichick.
Yeah, it's all shade.
That's Belichick going, yeah, okay, I'll just leak this out so that they
But
think they have a shot.
listen, the spread's 9.5.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they can cover that easy. I really do.
Well,
I'm going to say easy. I think it's like a 1-score game.
Well, the Patriots' defense isn't good. I'm just being flat, honest,
Yep.
up front. It sucks. The Patriots' defense sucks, period. So I know they played okay against Tampa Bay and whatever. Tampa Bay, Jameis Winston, I like him, but sometimes I think he's a little too amped.
But that's what he's...
Right, I know that's
listen,
the type of player he is, but I just think that hurts him sometimes on the field. So
You want to know what I think he is? Tim Tebow with an actual arm. Because he hypes people up, he gets them all jacked up, and they play harder for him. I think he's better than Tebow by far. Like I'm not
he can
comparing.
throw.
He can throw, yeah. And listen, college quarterbacks, not even close. That Tebow was great.
We're not talking about Tebow.
Doesn't matter now.
No.
Sorry.
I refuse to allow that
I love
name
I
ever-
used to love Tebow.
Nope.
I'm not going to lie. Love him. Not on the Jets, but...
I hope my buddy Tom's watching because you have right here. That's your boy right here. That's him.
me. So I think they can cover 9.5. I think it's going to be a close game because the Jets are going to be able to keep it probably, if they are able to keep it from like 17-24, I think the Jets are going to lose, but they're going to cover the spread. That's my prediction for that game. I feel
Okay,
like,
so if you're gambling,
yes. If you're a gambler.
throw Matt a few dollars afterwards for that pick.
And I will tell you right now, I'm not promoting it, but some of the daily sites actually have spread picking now. I don't know if you saw that. Pick 'em.
I haven't.
It's interesting. It's kind of new. But that's what do you think?
Do I think they're gonna win?
Or do you think they're going to cover?
That's a tough one. No, yeah, I think they'll cover. I think they'll cover. I think they will. I think they'll cover. Like I said, I don't like their defense, and if the Jets can run the ball, I think they'll keep it close.
Now, if they can, I mean, I'm not going to dive into some of my picks for later, but
We'll get to that later.
I do think they have been showing good signs of running. Like Powell's been good when he's on the field. Forte still hasn't really played.
I'm not a fan, so I don't care.
You're not a fan of Powell?
Of Forte.
Forte.
Just because he's old and we don't need him anymore, so just get out of here.
So trade him to the Giants, right? Because they need a pass catch. Well, actually, you know what? Coleman looks pretty good. But
Gallman does look pretty good.
I just feel like I get a sense. I get a feeling deep inside that the Jets are going to cover. But they could win. And listen, but the others, let's just be honest, as Jets fans, I always think they're going to get blown out by 50. I always do. So I'm just telling you what my actual heart says is they're going to get blown out. But
Right.
do you want them to win? Like, would you like to see them be 9-7 and make the playoffs and then get blown out in the playoffs? Or would you rather they taper off of this winning streak and finish like 5-11? And then
If
still
you're
the
not
top
going to
10 pick?
finish in the top 5 in this draft, then I don't care.
But see, I don't really think it matters as much to be top 5, and I'll tell you why. There's 3 quarterbacks, maybe 4 in this draft that are elite, they're saying.
Well, it depends who has the top pick, but go ahead. Continue.
I'm grouping in Josh Allen, Rosen. Or it's Josh Allen, right? And then Josh Rosen, and then Sam Donald, and then
It's Jason Allen.
is it the guy from Wyoming?
I know who you're talking about.
He's if he was on any other
Something
team,
with a J.
whatever. Jay Allen, 6'5", rocket arm. He looks great if he's on a different team. Also, I'm not a big fan of him, but the guy from Louisville, who won
Lamar Jackson?
Lamar Jackson. I'm not a huge fan of him for a few reasons because he's smaller than and
that's
you see
fair.
what happens with guys that are
That's
small
fair.
and fast that
That's
come
fair.
out and they're quarterbacks. But the point is, a lot of young quarterbacks have gotten drafted over the last 2 to 3 years, and people have invested a lot of picks in them to get them. Not to mention, there's still some old Grizzly vets out there. So I think you could be in the top 15 and still lock down one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, well, it depends on the teams. Like if Chicago has a pick, they're not going to take a quarterback again.
And they're gonna.
Right, so they'll be in the mix. So you have teams that already took their quarterbacks this year. Well, Kansas City won't be. They're great this year.
But this
Wow.
is what I mean. Like, think about the teams that would actually take a quarterback. The Browns,
Yeah.
the Bills, but the Bills are actually doing pretty well.
The Browns are going to give up on Kaiser so quick? Probably. I don't know.
Who knows? I'm just estimating.
Right.
You got to take a lot if you don't have a solid one.
Yeah, true.
We'll see what happens. He really hasn't impressed me. He can run a lot, but
No, he played well in the preseason, but it's been different once
Yeah.
the spotlight was on.
And I really can't think of any other team. I'm sure there's a few that are missing. The Giants actually would be one that I would think would maybe. I honestly see Sam Darnold going to the Giants somehow. They're going to trade to get up there, not to get off track. But
That'd
I
be
really
fine.
think
I'm not a fan, so that'd be fine.
USC quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I've been burned already. I
Name
don't
one
like it.
that's been.
Carson Palmer.
Yeah, but he was good. He's super injury prone. He was good for like 2-3 years total of his.
But I
entire
mean,
career.
he's good. He's not a great quarterback, but he's good. He's good enough.
Yes.
So that's what I mean.
And then Castle was like okay for a few
he
years.
never played in college,
Yeah, I know.
which is crazy.
Well, Tom Brady played for 1 year, and it doesn't really matter if you don't play. But either way, he's not Tom Brady. But Tom Brady, I think, will play, and I think this is all shade. So my final stance is that the Jets are going to cover, but they're going to lose. And I think what did you say? You said that they're going to
I think they're gonna. No, I think they're gonna.
They're
lose. They're gonna lose.
All right.
I think they'll cover, but lose. Yeah,
Let's
I
be
agree
smart
with you
about
there.
that,
I
right?
agree with you.
So really quickly, because we do have to get into our fantasy picks before the show wraps up. There's many injuries, as there are every week in the NFL.
Right,
But
that's
there was
just the
two
nature of the
huge ones, and they're on opposite sides of the ball. And I honestly think they're on opposite sides of the spectrum in terms of caring about
Go
them.
ahead.
J.J. Watt and OBJ. And please, no one make this about a race thing. I really am happy that OBJ got hurt. Like, I think he needed a reality check. I don't want anyone to ever get hurt.
You just said you were
I
happy
didn't
that
wish.
he got
I was
hurt.
happy that it happened because I don't wish it on him. But honestly, he acted super selfish, unprofessional. He does impact the team, but I just feel like it could be, not to say the Giants are going to the Super Bowl, but it could be a similar situation in terms of them winning games now. Because when Shockey left, I know it's a completely different level of talent, but the personality in the locker room is a big deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I know the Odell Beckham that we get,
You don't know Odell?
but I don't know the Odell Beckham that the teammates get.
Yeah.
So see, it's hard for me to. When people say that, I'm always like, you don't really know though. You're not in the locker room. You don't see how he interacts with people. He's flamboyant, obviously out in public. He likes the spotlight. He does outrageous things. He's immature.
Which most great ones are.
I
That's
always
something
say
else.
to be great, you have to be cocky. If you're not, you can be humble on the camera, but on the field, you have to be cocky. Like, he does both. He's cocky camera on the field. But some players, like, no one's gonna sit there and tell me that on the field Tom Brady isn't cocky. No one's gonna sit there and say that he doesn't look and say, yeah, I'm gonna destroy this team.
For sure.
Right. So that's what I mean. You need to be great. You need that confidence, and that I've always believed that. with him, it's really just weighing what his impact of the team and can you deal with the headache. That's really what the Giants are doing. And without him, their offense wasn't great to begin with. Without him, I have no idea what we're going to see from them. I honestly don't. They're just not good when he's not on the field. Now, I mean, they lost him. Brandon Marshall got hurt. Sterling Shepard got hurt.
All of that. Harris did. Also, he broke his foot.
Harris.
There was like a plague of receivers. It's like at the halftime, there was a voodoo curse.
They're in deep trouble. Yeah. But it just opens up a lot of different. To me, it just highlights all the problems the Giants have had this year.
Josh Gordon, you're saying bring in. Take a trade for him? It would help.
Talk about headaches.
Yeah, right.
Good God.
But on the other side of it, there's J.J. Watt. Did a lot for the hurricane victims down in Houston. But I also think just the way he handles himself overall, he's a great guy, and that's kind of why I share the.
No,
that's kind of why I'm like upset about him because he's been Defensive Player of the Year and he got hurt 2 years in a row, basically.
No, he's an incredible player. He's obviously a humanitarian. He seems like a good family guy. It's easy to root for guys like him. It's always easy to root for guys who are like that. I remember in the NBA, everyone like, oh, Grant Hill, because just the way Grant Hill was and how he, and J.J. Watt is a similar type player, or similar type athlete. But again, it really affects, obviously, with him, losing him, he affects how the entire defense plays as well.
Yeah.
He's that good a player. So their impact, you were talking impact before, I think it's exactly the same. I don't think... For the Giants, they need Beckham, and I mean, even though the Texans have Clowney, who's very good, but they lost Merciless too, right?
Yep.
So, but he is their star player. He's the one who demands the most attention. So the defense is going to be different for them too. So it's going to be interesting to see going forward just how both the teams respond to these really catastrophic injuries to the team.
I agree. I think it's going to impact the Texans more, like you said, because they lost 2 in 1 week, and they're leaders.
And they have a decent record
for sure.
So,
and the Giants, it's kind of like, whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, if it was going to happen, it might as well happen this year, right?
Right, and right now.
Yeah.
Like not week 1.
Yeah.
But again, listen, I feel bad for both of them. I hope they both come back strong.
That's not what you said.
So the final segment, we're going to try to do this every week, I think. It's going to be daily fantasy suggestions for quarterback, running back, tight end, and receiver. We'll each give our picks. We might start doing guest picks where we either have someone in studio or call in once a week.
Yes.
We're in the middle of the season here, so it's we're going to test it out for this season, and then we're going to see how it goes. So my pick for quarterback is Joe Flacco. Now, I know Joe Flacco hasn't really had the greatest season, and that team's been a little bit rough. They don't really have a great receiver. They have Mike Wallace, I think, is their best receiver. Macklin. Yeah, but if he's on the field.
Right, he's been banged up.
I'm picking him because I think he's going to have a big game. Chicago's not really – they have a great pass rush, but I think they can get lit up. I know they, did pretty well last night, but I just think the offense they were facing without Dalvin Cook, it was kind of handcuffed, and then also Sam Bradford went out.
They played – yeah, but they did well. The Vikings played well, even without them. Go ahead.
Okay, my second pick is McGuire from the Jets. Powell right now and Forte is out, or are out, I should say, for the game. So I'm picking them. Receiver, Terrell Pryor. I think he's going to have a breakout week. Sorry if I'm rushing through this. We're coming down the wire here. I think that he's going to, honestly, him and Kirk Cousins, Kirk Cousins starting to kind of, live without his offensive coordinator. He's kind of going into his old ways over the last 2 years where he was leading the league in passing yards. I think he's going to really have a big game. I actually wanted to include him as my quarterback, but I thought it would kind of be a cop-out for the same team. So Terrell Pryor, receiver, and then O.J. Howard against Arizona. I think he's going to have a big game. He's super fast, and I just think he's going to break out.
Even with Brait there?
That's it. I think he's going to be the big play guy. It's not going to come all in one shot, but I think this week he's going to have over 100 yards with a touchdown.
All right, really quickly. At quarterback, I like Trevor Siemian against the Giants. Just because the Giants are a mess right now, and I would take anyone playing them at the moment. So I like him. I like Amir Abdullah for the Lions against the Saints. The Saints defense is still the Saints defense.
Fair enough.
And I think he's been pretty good this year. Abdullah's been pretty good. I do like Austin Seferian-Jenkins against the Patriots.
Okay, he's been looking good too.
Yeah, he looked really good on Sunday, and I guess that's my one homer pick. I had to pick one, so I would I would take ASJ against the Pats. And my last, I was having trouble deciding at wide receiver. But
Tight end.
no, I did tight
Oh,
end. Jenkins.
sorry.
Yeah.
A little out of it.
I am gonna go with, and I'm forgetting who he's playing now. I don't know why. I'm going to go with a really sleeper pick. He hasn't been good this year, but if he plays, I have a feeling he's gonna break out. Jamison Crowder from the Redskins.
I like it. Same reason, kind of. All right.
I think he's ready.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to Man Up. We'll be here every Tuesday, 7 to 8. Make sure you guys tune in to strongislandradio.com or strongisland.com.
Yes. And if you want, again, well, we have. Let me just announce really quick. I opened a new Twitter page for us. The handle is @manup3374. And if you want to interact here live, it's 516-945-9099. Have a good night.